Last time you saw that the voice is the whole channel, the one thread your audience quietly follows. Now comes the real skill, the one nobody teaches you, how to design a voice that people choose to follow. In the last video, you saw something simple and a little strange. The voice is the whole channel, not the graphics, not the logo, not even the topic you cover. The sound that carries your words is the thing your audience actually bonds with, the thread they follow from one video to the next without ever thinking about it. You learn that the algorithm rewards watch time, and watch time is really just a person choosing to stay. And people stay for a voice they trust, the same way you know a friend on the phone before they say their name. So now you know the voice matters. This video answers the next question. How do you actually design one? Think about your favorite film for a moment. Picture the narrator, the calm voice that guides you through the story. Now imagine that same film with the wrong narrator, a voice too fast, too flat, too sharp, or simply wrong for the mood. The story would still be there. The pictures would still be beautiful, but something would feel broken, and you would not know why. That is the power you are about to learn to use. Casting the narrator is casting the whole feeling of your channel. Here is the good news. You do not need to be born with a golden voice. You do not even need to speak on camera. What you need is a clear picture of the voice you want and the patience to shape it until it feels like a real person. So here is how you build that picture, one piece at a time, starting with the 4 things that make a voice what it is. The first piece is tone. Tone is the mood of the voice, the feeling underneath the words. A voice can be warm like a bedtime story. It can be sharp and exciting like a sports match. It can be steady and serious like a wise teacher. Tone is not what you say. It is how it feels to hear it. And here is the simple rule. Your tone should match what your audience came for. If your channel explains scary money problems in a calm way, a panicked tone would push people away. If your channel tells thrilling true crime stories, a sleepy tone would bore them. What feeling does your audience want to have while they watch? Answer that, and you have found your tone. The second piece is pace. Pace is the speed of the voice, how quickly one word follows the next. This one is easy to picture. Think of a fast food advert, quick and punchy, words tumbling out to keep you excited. Now think of someone reading a poem, slow and gentle, leaving space between the lines. Both are right, but only for the right job. Fast pace fits short, snappy videos and hype. Medium pace fits tutorials and how-to guides, because people need time to understand each step. Slow pace fits storytelling and calm, thoughtful topics, where the silence between words does half the work. Pace is not about being fast or slow. It is about matching the speed of your voice to the speed of your viewers' thinking. The third piece is warmth. Warmth is the friendliness in a voice, the feeling that someone is talking to you and not at you. A warm voice sounds like a kind neighbor leaning over the fence to share a secret. A cold voice sounds like an announcement at a train station. Both can be clear. Only one makes you want to stay. Warmth is what turns a stranger into a companion, and companions are the people you come back to. On a faceless channel, warmth does the job your face would have done. It says quietly, you are welcome here. The fourth piece is energy. Energy is the life in the voice, the sense that the speaker actually cares about what they are saying. Low energy sounds tired, like a teacher counting the minutes until the bell. High energy sounds alive, like a friend bursting to tell you good news. But be careful here, because more is not always better. A voice that shouts the whole time is exhausting, like a song stuck on its loudest note. The best energy rises and falls. It lifts for the exciting parts and softens for the tender ones. That rise and fall is the heartbeat of a voice people follow. So there are your 4 pieces. Tone, the mood, pace, the speed, warmth, the friendliness, energy, the life. Every voice you've ever loved is simply a special mix of these 4. And now comes the part that ties them together, the part most creators forget. Matching the voice to your niche and your audience. Here's a simple way to see it. A voice is like a key, and your audience is like a lock. A beautiful key is useless if it does not fit. The gentlest, warmest voice in the world is the wrong choice for a channel about intense workouts and pushing your limits. A hard driving voice is the wrong choice for a channel about calming bedtime meditations. Before you fall in love with any voice, ask a simple question. Who is on the other side of the screen, and what do they need to feel? A tired parent looking for calm needs something soft and slow. A young gamer looking for a thrill needs something quick and bright. The voice is not for you, the voice is for them. There is a professional trick that makes this easy. Before you choose anything, write one short sentence that describes the voice you want. Something like this: a calm, warm, trustworthy guide who explains hard things in a simple way. Or this: a fast, playful, excitable friend who makes learning feel like a game. That single sentence becomes your map. Every time you test a voice, you hold it up against the sentence and ask, does this match? If it does not, you keep looking. This one habit saves you from picking a voice just because it sounds nice, when nice is not the same as right. There is one more habit that separates the creators who get this right from the ones who guess. They test. They do not fall in love with the first voice that sounds pleasant in a quiet room. They take the voice they think they like and they feed it a real script from their own channel, not a made-up demo sentence. This matters more than it sounds. A voice can sail through a simple line and then trip over the words your channel actually uses, the tricky names, the numbers, the odd little phrases that make your topic yours. So test on the real thing. Read a paragraph you would truly post. Listen for whether the hard words come out clean, whether the long sentences flow, whether the mood fits. And if you can, let a few other people listen to, without telling them which voice you prefer. Fresh ears catch what your own tired ears miss. The pros gather feedback from real listeners before they commit, because a voice that lives inside your head for months should be chosen with care, not on a whim. Here is a small but important idea that stops a lot of confusion. Your voice stays the same, but your tone is allowed to bend a little. Picture a kind teacher. That teacher is always the same person, always warm, always themselves. Yet they sound bright and playful when they share good news, and soft and gentle when a child is upset. The person did not change, only the color of the moment changed. Your channel voice works the same way. The core stays fixed, so people always know it is you. But within that core, the voice can lift for an exciting reveal and settle for a serious warning. That is not breaking consistency. That is a voice that is alive. The same friend showing different feelings, never a different friend entirely. Now think about the thing on everyone's mind. If you are using an AI voice, how do you stop it from sounding like a robot? Because you have heard those robot voices. Flat, lifeless, the same dull note on every single word, like a piano with only one key. That sound breaks trust in seconds, and once trust is gone, the viewer is gone. So what actually separates a robot from a real person? The answer is 3 small things, and they are simpler than you think. The first is natural pacing. A real person does not speak like a machine gun, one steady beat after another. A real person slows down for important ideas and speeds up through the easy bits. They pause. That pause is not empty. It is the tiny moment where a listener catches up and gets ready for what comes next. A voice with no pauses feels like being pushed down a hill. A voice with natural pacing feels like walking beside a friend. The second thing is emotional range. This is the voice's ability to feel different things, the way a good actor does. A real person sounds a little sad on a sad line and a little excited on an exciting one. Their voice bends to match the meaning. A robot says every sentence the same way, whether it is announcing a birthday or a disaster. That sameness is exactly what your ear notices, even if you cannot name it. Modern AI voices can carry real emotion now, shifting through calm, curiosity, and excitement, but only if you choose a voice built to do it and test it on your most feeling-filled lines. Do not test a voice on a boring sentence. Test it on your saddest line and your happiest line and listen for whether it truly changes. The third thing is breath. This one sounds almost too small to matter, but it is everything. Real people breathe. You hear the tiny intake of air before a big sentence, the soft settling at the end of a thought. You do not notice breath when it is there. You only notice when it is missing, and a voice with no breath feels airless and strange, like a swimmer who never comes up for air. The best AI voices leave room for breath. That little bit of air is the difference between a machine reading words and a person speaking them. Natural pacing, emotional range, breath. Learn to listen for those 3, and you will never be fooled by a flat voice again. You will hear instantly whether a voice is a real companion or a talking robot in a costume. But here is where most people make their biggest mistake, and it is the counterintuitive twist of this whole video. Everyone rushes to find the perfect voice, the most beautiful voice, the most impressive voice, and they are chasing the wrong thing. Because the secret is not the perfect voice. The secret is the same voice every single time. Let that sink in. A slightly plain voice used consistently will beat a stunning voice that changes every video. Why? Because familiarity is what builds trust, and familiarity only grows through repetition. Think about your favorite song on the radio. The first time you heard it, it was just noise in the background. The 10th time, you knew the words. The 50th time, the first note gave you a feeling before the singer even opened their mouth. Nothing about the song changed. You changed, because you heard it again and again. Your channel voice works exactly the same way. When your voice stays the same across every video, something powerful happens in your viewer's mind. They stop having to work. They recognize you instantly. The voice becomes a signal that says, relax, you are in the right place. This is the channel you like. That feeling of coming home is the strongest reason people subscribe and keep coming back. But the moment you switch voices, you break the spell. It is like calling a friend and a stranger answers the phone. Even if the stranger is perfectly nice, your heart sinks a little because the person you came for is gone. This is why consistency is not a boring detail. It is the whole game. A consistent voice turns scattered videos into a single, recognizable thing. It is the difference between a pile of loose bricks and an actual house. Same voice, same tone, same warmth, same pace. Video after video, until the sound of you becomes as familiar as a friend's ringtone. Now here is the modern mirror, the part that shows you where you truly stand today. Right now, in this exact moment, giant companies pay fortunes to build what you can build for almost nothing. They hire famous actors to narrate their adverts because they know a voice sells the feeling. They test dozens of voices with real listeners before they choose. They write voice guidelines and protect their sound like a treasure because they have learned that a consistent voice can lift how much people trust them, and trust is what makes people buy, follow, and stay. That used to be locked behind huge budgets in studios. It is not anymore. Today, a single person at a kitchen table can choose a voice, shape its tone and pace, and keep it perfectly consistent across 100 videos. The same weapon the giants use is now sitting in your hands. The only question is whether you will pick it up on purpose or leave it to chance. So here is the heart of it. Designing a voice is not magic, and it is not luck. It is a set of choices you can make on purpose, starting today. You choose the tone that matches the feeling your audience wants. You choose the pace that matches how fast they need to think. You add warmth so they feel welcome and energy so they feel your care. You match all of it to the people on the other side of the screen, not to your own taste. You pick a voice that pauses, feels, and breathes like a real person. And then, above everything else, you keep it the same so familiarity can quietly do its work. Casting your narrator is casting the soul of your channel. Get it right, and every video you ever make will land a little deeper because the voice was already a friend before the first word was spoken. You do not need a face for that. You never did. You just need a voice worth following, shaped on purpose and kept steady until the whole world knows it is you. You saw that the voice is the whole channel, and now you can shape one on purpose instead of by luck. If this gave your channel its sound, subscribe, because a voice worth following deserves an audience. Next video, writing scripts in AI voice can actually perform, where the words finally make the voice sing.